our first inductee in the builder category is one of the true stewards of the game. In his 5-decade-plus career in hockey, he has experienced and significantly influenced the game at every level on a global scale. Here to induct Colin Campbell, 2018 honored member and commissioner of the NHL, Gary Bettman.
Thank you, James. Good evening, and congratulations to all of tonight's inductees. Colin Campbell enters the Hockey Hall of Fame tonight as a builder. And over the last 50 or so years, few have done more to earn that designation. Working as an assistant coach with his mentor, Roger Nielsen, he was at the forefront of using video to break down games and build game plans. As an assistant coach in Detroit, he helped build what would become a dynasty. As the assistant coach in New York, he provided the strategic underpinnings and steady hand that helped to deliver the Rangers their first Stanley Cup in 54 years. Then, as head coach of the Rangers, he presided over the final memorable postseason ride of two of the game's greatest players, Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier. Upon joining the NHL in 1998, he transformed the way video was used at the league level, both for in-game reviews and to assess supplementary discipline. He built and has now rebuilt the Situation Room in Toronto that is the envy of all other sports leagues. And it is under his leadership that the league's general managers have guided how the game is played. During the 2004-05 work stoppage, Coley was determined to rebuild the game on the ice that would be worthy of the fans returning to fill our arenas. So he worked with people at all levels of our game to implement a suite of rules changes that made the NHL faster, skillful, and more entertaining. Some joked at the time that Coley then and since has championed changes that have made today's NHL into a league in which he, as a player, could not have competed. I tend to doubt that. Coley wouldn't have found a way, although perhaps with a different helmet. But that reflects a more profound point. Colin Campbell has embraced changes to our game regardless of any personal preferences. All the while, he has ensured that anything we do honors the NHL's traditions and maintains hockey's authenticity. Coley and I have been together now for 26 years. We know each other's families. We've been through good times and supported each other through occasional difficult times. He has been and remains my hockey consigliere. But beyond all of what I've just described, the most important fact is Coley is a really good person. He has other interests, but his true passions are hockey and his extremely close family. He and Heather have been inseparable for more than 50 years, and they have raised 3 impressive children, Lauren, Courtney, and Gregory. Coley has touched every aspect of how the game is played, and the game wouldn't be in the unparalleled condition that it is without his leadership and countless contributions. And short of him being selected for and inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, he has never received the recognition that he so richly deserves. He may like it that way, but I'm sorry, my friend, tonight's hockey's brightest spotlight has found you, and it couldn't be shining on a more worthy person. Please join me in welcoming Colin Campbell into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Need peepers here. So, as Gary said, this is a humbling situation. I've spoken with general managers over the years, board of governors, but this is a first, and to look out to see this group, it's certainly inspiring and scary. Thanks, Gary. That was a very a nice introduction. But sincerely, thank you for not only the kind words and for your leadership and guidance. Yours and Shelley's friendship with myself and Heather over the years, it's been truly wonderful. I'm certainly humbled and filled with gratitude. I left Tillsonburg, Ontario for the Peterborough Petes when I was 17. And all I wanted to do was make the team. That's all I wanted to do, and everything else was fine. The journey in hockey, though, is great and has been great. The Memorial Cup, Stanley Cup, rubbing shoulders with the giants of the game over the past five decades. I think about all the general managers and coaches I played for, and one special man in particular, Roger Nielsen. He taught us, and he taught me, all those who were fortunate enough to play for him, so much about the game, about life lessons that I still carry to this day. Things like, I always use the word we, not I. Treating everyone with the same respect, regardless if they were a junior A player, an NHL star, or an 8-year-old kid at a summer hockey school. Everyone was the same to Roger. The importance of practicing the right way and focusing on the smallest details. And of course, the value of video, which he pioneered. I also think about the impact of over 250 players I was fortunate to have as teammates in the National Hockey League. The impact and friendship they had on me during my playing career, 8 of who went on to be general managers and 18 who went on to become head coaches of the National Hockey League. I also had the privilege, while coaching the Detroit Red Wings and the New York Rangers, over 220 players during that time, learning from all of them. 20 are in this Hall of Fame. Playing, coaching through 3 decades, you learn so much. And hopefully, those experiences helped us make the game better through my years at the National Hockey League. So fortunate enough to play and coach, Gary gave me the opportunity then to contribute with the NHL. I remember when I first joined the NHL, the great Jimmy Gregory, who mentored so many in our league, including myself, told me while in hockey he never worked a day in his life. Well, it was fun. I had more than, there were some days that I didn't like being around, but some news I delivered. I see a bunch of guys out here. Chris, you were one. Too many phone calls. Jimmy was partially correct. It's great to have been in the National Hockey League, but there came a point we had to fix it. That was not easy. To accomplish good things, to get there, it's never easy when you're accomplishing things like that. Gary, Bill Daly and their group fixed the game off the ice. We had to do our part on the ice. The game was broken on the ice, the hooking, the holding, the interference. It was no fun for players to play the game. Fans lost interest in the game. When their team was down, they knew there was little chance of a comeback. In short, the game was broken, and the player with skill was completely neutralized. Well, part of the reason I'm being honored with the induction to the Hockey Hall of Fame, so many players, coaches, GMs, owners, on-ice officials, league associates all helped contribute to that honor. We all met dozens of times 20 years ago, after the 04-05 season, and we observed and participated in numerous on-ice sessions to test rules, and to this day we continue to monitor the game, focusing on rewarding skill and offense, ensuring the game of hockey remains great for our fans, but more important, to make it fun for players to play, so every kid who aspires, who dreams of being the next Johnny Hockey, they can do so. Thank you to all the GMs, coaches, and players who I've worked with over 25 years at the National Hockey League. Thank you to Mike Murphy, Kelly Reset, Chris King, Damien Echeverrieta, Stephen Walkham, and all the great people at the National Hockey League who certainly contribute to this honor that I'm sharing, and special mention to Jimmy Gregory and E.J. McGuire, two great individuals that have passed on. Finally, Heather, Lauren, Courtney, and Gregory, this hockey journey could not have been possible without your love and support. You've sacrificed so much so I could live out my dream as a player and a coach and an NHL administrator. Thank you. I share this honor with the four of you, my 5 grandchildren, Xander, Reese, Finn, Noah, and Katerina. Thank you very much.